What's up, guys? Today we're talking about wide receiver contracts. After Justin Jefferson signed a new deal, making him the highest paid receiver in the NFL at $35 million a year, we're looking at the top 10 highest paid receivers in the league, what it means for the Bears, and what our chances are of re signing both DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, as well as how much of a value Poles has for the 2024 season. Let's go ahead and get right into it. In case you missed it, the Vikings made all-pro wide receiver Justin Jefferson the NFL's highest paid non-quarterback today, signing him to a 4-year, $140 million deal worth $35 million a season with $110 million in guarantees. The wide receiver position just got more expensive today, and there are still the upcoming deals of Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb to worry about too. So common sense would suggest we need to get deals done for DJ Moore and Keenan Allen as quickly as possible. So what does this mean for the Bears and our current wide receiver trio? First, let's go ahead and look at the top 10 highest paid receivers in the National Football League. Justin Jefferson is the new highest paid guy, coming in at number one at $35 million a year. A.J. Brown of the Eagles comes in at number two at just around $32 million a year. Then we have the Lions' new contract they just got done with Amon-Ra St. Brown, right around $30 million a year. Tyreek Hill also has a deal for around $30 million. He's the fourth highest paid receiver, with his teammate Jalen Waddle coming in at number five, just around $28 million. Devontae Adams is the number six, also $28 million. Cooper Kupp at number seven, he makes around $27 million. And then we have our second Eagle on the list as well. Devontae Smith makes just over $25 million a season. And then we have Nico Collins of the Texans and DK Metcalf of the Seahawks, both checking in around $24 million a year. Okay, so that's the top 10. And neither DJ Moore or Keenan Allen are on that list. They both have value contracts, in my opinion. DJ Moore ranks as the 17th highest paid receiver in the NFL, coming in at just over $20 million a season. While Keenan Allen is just two spots below him, he comes in as the 19th highest paid receiver in the league right now, also right around $20 million a season. Ryan Poles has three value deals at receiver, as Rome Odunze comes in at just $5.5 million a season. This gives the Bears possibly the best value at the position in the entire NFL for 2024 and the best wide receiver trio in the league. Ryan Poles deserves to be applauded for the work he has done in this wide receiver room. DJ Moore $20 million, Keenan Allen $20 million, Rome Odunze $5.5 million. But the biggest issue is when you look beyond 2024, what is Ryan Poles' plan for the future? So Keenan Allen is in the final year of his contract, and he's scheduled to enter free agency next year in 2025. He's going to be 33 years old. DJ Moore has 2 years left on his deal, and he's scheduled to become a free agent in 2026 at the age of 29. So what is Ryan Poles' long-term plan here? We have arguably the best weapons in the NFL for the 2024 season, but will Keenan Allen be back next year? And will DJ Moore get extended past 2025? I wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk about each guy here. First, let's go ahead and talk about DJ Moore, one of my favorite players on the entire roster, one of the best players on this team, and a guy who comes in with a very team-friendly contract right now and probably deserves an extension. So let's go into that a little bit. He signed a 3-year extension with the Panthers for just over $20 million a season, a value deal and something I talked about when we traded for him last year. However, he didn't play a single snap of that contract with the Panthers. That 3-year deal just started last year, so he has only played 1 year of his current extension and still has 2 full years left under contract. So in theory, there's absolutely no rush to extend DJ Moore. And then you also have to factor in that he will be 29 years old at the end of his contract, and how he plays in 2025 could determine how much he gets paid. But with how much the wide receiver market has exploded, I've always thought it would be smart to extend DJ Moore for at least 2 more years, I've always thought that was something that Ryan Poles was going to get done. Even before we acquired Keenan Allen or drafted Rome Odunze, I've always thought that Ryan Poles needed to get an extension done with DJ at some point down the line. So now today, after Justin Jefferson's extension, does that change my opinion? I honestly don't think so, but I do think it could affect how Ryan Poles thinks. I still believe it's a no-brainer to get an extension done with DJ Moore early and keep him in Chicago until at least we have to pay Caleb Williams. But on the other side of that argument, every single time one of these other receivers signs a new deal, it makes DJ's contract even more of a value. So if we wait the next 2 years, we will be getting even more value for DJ Moore. However, then his price will likely go up as well when it comes time to re-sign him. Unless, of course, his play fell off in an offense with so many weapons. So in that theory, I do believe Ryan Poles could play the waiting game here, and he has no real reason to rush when it comes to extending DJ Moore. To me, though, DJ is one of the absolute best players on this entire roster, one of my favorite players on this team, a core leader in the locker room, and we already have him under a value contract for 2 more years. I'd look to extend him as soon as possible, keep him happy and in Chicago. I don't know how likely it is he gives us a huge discount. DJ knows business is business, but I think the earlier Poles brings an offer to the table and approaches him, the better chances he could get a good deal done. But then what about Keenan Allen? His story is a bit different. He's in the final year of his contract right now. He's 32 years old and he's never taken a snap with the Bears. So extending him before we extended DJ Moore after he was a team leader last year might not be the smartest move. When it comes to Keenan Allen, I think you have to see how he fits in with this offense in 2024 and how much he still has left in the tank at age 32. But I would like to see Keenan retire as a Chicago Bear. Ryan Poles is under no pressure to get this deal done. One of the biggest reasons is that if Keenan Allen leaves during free agency next year, that would most likely net us a high compensation pick in return, most likely a third rounder. Now, that wouldn't come for another year, but if we lose Keenan Allen next offseason, we should be rewarded with a comp pick, which is something we haven't had in a long time in Chicago. Historically, we've always overspent in free agency, and we never get rewarded with comp picks. It's kind of a culture thing here in Chicago. So if we did lose Keenan Allen and let him leave next year, it could be a part of that culture shift where we could be landing more picks and getting compensation picks every year, especially if Ian Cunningham lands a GM job next year as well. That could be even more picks. So re-signing Keenan likely depends on how he performs on the field this season. And then something else I wanted to mention here that could play a factor is the franchise tag could be used on these guys before letting them walk to free agency as well. That's always a tool that Ryan Poles is going to have in his back pocket, especially with DJ Moore and his age 29 season. I wouldn't want DJ to play under a franchise tag. I would rather reward him. But another point about Keenan Allen here is where he's at in his career. I do believe there's a chance that he would extend his contract at a value cost for a couple of years. The key to this is getting Keenan Allen to buy into what this locker room is offering and buy into the culture here in Chicago. He already is building chemistry with Caleb Williams after attending his pro day back in March, but the biggest difference for him is going to be this fan base. Let's just be honest here. There's no comparison when it comes to Bears fans versus Charger fans. We have one of the best and most loyal fan bases in the entire NFL. Chicago has always been a football town. Keenan Allen is going to love playing football here, if you ask me. And I think it's possible he's going to want to retire here. And Ryan Poles has the flexibility to pay him. But that's another point I wanted to make here. Keenan Allen has made over $110 million in his career, placing him in the top 10 all-time earnings leaders at his position. He's top 10 all-time when it comes to how much money he's made in his career at wide receiver. So considering how much he's already made and his age and the fact that he's never won a Super Bowl, I think it increases the likelihood that he could take a team friendly short term extension. I don't think Keenan Allen at age 33 is going to want anything close to Justin Jefferson money at the end of the day. If he loves playing here as much as I think he could, I believe we can talk Keenan into taking a team friendly deal. And you can take that same theory and apply it to DJ Moore as well, but not to as great of an extent. DJ hasn't made close to as much money as Keenan has, and he's a full 5 years younger than Keenan Allen is. So DJ still has one big payday left under his belt, and how Ryan Poles handles that is the biggest question remaining here. To me, I do not think you can let DJ Moore leave. Yes, he has 2 more years on his deal, but I do think it's imperative to get something done at some point down the line. Meanwhile, we just took Rome Odunze in the first round. He has 4 full years under a rookie deal and a fifth-year option, with his contract extension timing up with Caleb Williams, giving Ryan Poles at least 4 full years of flexibility here before he has to pay those two guys. And for that reason alone, it makes sense to get DJ's deal done as early as possible, if you ask me, but I could see Ryan Poles waiting a bit on this one. I'm always interested to hear your guys' thoughts. Let me know what you think about this one. The best Bears fans in the world. I appreciate everyone who watches or listens to this video. Please take a moment to hit that like button under the video. Stay tuned, and until next time, bear down.